In today's video, we're actually going to be covering the wash. It's a card wash, which in simple terms is, the way people in Las Vegas shuffle cards, in addition to being a simple, almost rudimentary way to mix the cards so that everyone can feel involved in case people aren't able to shuffle cards in any capable manner, or do fancy riffle shuffles or stuff of that nature. This is a method that basically anyone can do and feel confident that the cards are being mixed. So with that said, let's jump into it. And it'll look like this. You have the cards right here. Let me see if I can lower my camera angle just a bit so we can be able to see that. Okay, so we have the cards right here. We divide into two packets right here, divide into two right here. Okay, hopefully everyone can see that. And then from there, we just give the cards a wash. We just tell them to mix these cards and these cards, mix these cards and these cards, and you can mix them all around. Now, with a wider table, I would be able to do this much better, but we're working within conditions, so I apologize in advance. And then they can mix the cards, and in a wider table, they just mix all the cards all around. And you can feel confident that cards are being shuffled. You can take some from here, 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 and make sure none get on the floor or anything to that nature. And then after that, we can square the cards up and feel confident that they are mixed. And again, it's just very, very simple. I just prefer that there's dividing into two, and divide these two packets into two, and then going right into it. But there's also many ways we can not only mix the cards, and then after mixing them, we can square them up and that they're mixed. This can also be used in a subterfuge to be able to mix cards as well. Multiple ways. One way is that we can actually have the spectator cut, let's say we cut the pack in half, and then the spectator cuts in half, and then they control their cards and I control mine. And let's say if there was a card controlled on top, let me give you an example. Let me get a good one. Oh, great, Ace of Hearts. Let's use this guy. So let's say I wanted to have the Ace of Hearts and be able to have some control over it. We're using it in the control of context of Magic, because this is a Magic Academy. We can divide into two packets. You give this one to the spectator, you keep the upper half, and divide into two. And then you can mix the cards and however you wish, but maintaining control of that top card even throughout all the mix. And then even through all the squaring, you got that. And they mixed up their packet however they wish, and then you could place yours on top of theirs, and the packets seem mixed while you control your card. Another way is you can there's just multiple different ways you can be able to handle it. There's other ways I'm thinking, but my mind is simply just blanking right now. But again, its main purpose, the original main purpose for the wash, is to give, for it in Las Vegas style, a fair way to mix cards. And for spectators who want to be involved in Magic, we can't say, I don't know how to do that, I really don't. This is the easiest way I know of so that they can feel that they mix the cards. So that it alleviate that they can feel that they participated. Or for a heckler, they love this because they can be able to see the cards really being mixed, and it alleviates all suspicions or will keep them at bay, so you could be able to do whatever card work effect you wanted to do. And so there are ways to be creative with it, so play along with it and you'll find it, whatever it is. Oh, I now remember one idea. I remember. One idea was to be able to, in the case of needing to do this, I mean, you will mix up if you have a stack, you're going to lose it. And in the case that you can't control top stock or anything to that nature, there is one huge advantage is whether you have crimp cards or something of that nature, and which we'll cover in later ones. But in the case that, let's say I had previously nicked the Ace of Hearts or had bent corner, we can be able to find it throughout all the mix. So you just mix up all the cards, we do this, and through all of this, this is great because the spectators feel like they have total control over the fact, and it's going to seem really impossible because in many cases when you give it to a spectator and they do all this, it's out of your hands. And then to regain control, if we had done it earlier with the cut, in the case that it's hard to get the cut at first, you can cut the packet because no one cares. They think everything's above board. that's above suspicion. And I don't know if anyone can see this, but there is, right there is the bent corner card, in case I controlled it, or I bent it slightly. So while the card's being shuffled, everything seems fair. I can be able to still, it's getting smaller, but it's still there. You can still slightly see it. Be able to cut to it, wherever it is, and then be able to continue on with the effect, knowing I still got total control of it. And that's how to maneuver, in magical terms, ahead while the cards are fairly cut in a wash, because the wash is a super fair thing meant for you either, you know, using a bent corner, and I'll cover methods on how to cover that in upcoming videos, or being able to have a card pre-selected that was forced or peaked and you already have knowledge of it, which we had covered in a previous video. Show it and then say, imagine your card, and I know it was the 10 of hearts before even any of that, through the peaking techniques we had covered earlier. So I hope this video was helpful to you, giving you little different branches of ideas to be able to use the wash in different contexts. And more than the technique, I actually want to give you a little different avenues, so you don't feel like you're just stuck here. You can go down different avenues. And with all that said, I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, and see you in the next video.